In this video, I am planning on improving my cooling system of my 2018 Husqvarna TE 150. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that in 3 different ways. I'm replacing my stock impeller with this Checkpoint off-road impeller. The reason I want to improve my cooling system, I live in Florida, Central Florida, and it's mid-April right now, and it's supposed to get extremely hot during the summer, and I plan on riding, if not every weekend, every other weekend in the summer. And I want to make sure my cooling system can support that. Half of our riding is slow and technical stuff, while the other half is fast, which I'm not really worried about. I'm worried about the slow and technical, especially in the summer heat. So that's why I'm doing this. So I'm going to keep this pretty short and simple. Purchase the impeller, more aggressive water flow, also replacing the stock hoses with silicone hoses, a new set of clamps, and I'm replacing the in-frame T-piece with a SamcoSport T-Piece. It's a one-piece T-piece that doesn't have a restriction here at the junction. The stock one is an aluminum piece that comes all the way up and an aluminum T with the hose clamps on each end with an extension of hose here. And that aluminum piece here, this T-junction, has quite a bit of a restriction, so I'm going to be replacing this as well. And that's essentially it. So I'm going to give you just a quick step-by-step as I take the bike apart and make this thing happen. Okay, we're going to drain the coolant now, and it's right above the power valve. That's a beauty. Look at that. So here's what's happening. This thermostat is the primary restriction for the cooling system in this bike right now. What we're going to do is we're going to eliminate this and connect this radiator to this radiator with a straight pipe. The head straight up to the T connector, straight pipe. So here is the original stock impeller still on the bike. Pull off the stock impeller plastic. The new impeller is here, and it's much more aggressively formed, and it's going to push a lot more water. So now you're going to put the aftermarket impeller on. Make sure this washer goes on. It only goes on, well, it goes on 2 ways, but it's got a flat side to it. So your impeller goes on. Put a little bit of Loctite here. Baby on. Hold that fin so you can tighten it down. You also want to make sure you don't lose these pins, right? These are the alignment pins, and you put the cover back on. Copper one goes here, and that is it. I jumped ahead a little bit here. As you can see, I've got the left side radiator on. You can clearly see here the new silicone tubing, which connects the T-piece, frame T-piece to the head here. It's just one straight shot. The frame T-piece went in very easily. Here's what came out. This is what the stock T-piece looks like. Actually in 2 pieces here. And this is the piece that was extremely hard to get out. As you can see, the pipe dope on here is pretty significant. The tool that I used, I had to buy a special tool, and unfortunately it was $25 for a one-time use. But as you can see, the tool looks like this. It has grooves for the splines that are inside of the stock T-piece, and slides in just like that. And then you take a 13mm socket, put it on the end of there, and you ratchet it off. You can't, I don't know if you can see it clearly, but this T here is pretty restricted, and that's the reason I decided to replace it. And if I bring this up here, you can see where I've connected the radiator to it and the T-piece coming out of the frame here. Okay, so now I'm going to put in this cross piece. I'm assuming it goes in like this because it bumps around the engine. Let's see. So I use a little bit of Windex for easy slippage. And I'm just going to set it in there for right now. I'm not going to clamp anything down until I get the other side fitted, and then we'll take her from there. A little bit of Windex in the hose. A little bit there. And the radiator goes on actually really easily. It just, there's some bump outs on the frame that these set right into, these little bump outs, they just set right on there. There we go. We mount this. This just sits on those bump outs as well, these little two notches. And they go on just like that. There we go. All right, now all I have to do is tighten the clamps, which I will do. No reason to really show you that. All right, so I'm almost done here, and I just wanted to show how simplistic this is, this design here, or this bypass. As you can see, we've got the T-piece in the frame. This silicone tube comes down and connects to the head. This one silicone tube runs across, connects from radiator to radiator, left to right. This is what was in place prior. So essentially it went in there like this, if you will. And this is the thermostat. So it would come down from the T-piece into the thermostat, branch off down to the cross piece, and then come out of the side of the thermostat and go down into the head. This is what it used to be, and this is what we have today. Okay, the last piece I have is to connect the hose from the pump to the lower part of the right radiator. This is the hose that makes that connection. A little bit of Windex to lube this thing up, and essentially just push this bad boy on. Come on now. Yep, there we go. And then this one is gonna be a one as well. There we go. Perfect. Bad boy right there. And this guy here, it's right there. All right, looks like we're in business. So that's essentially it. 3 hoses, 1, 2, 3, that came with the kit. I actually bought the Tusk radiator bypass kit from Rocky Mountain. And then I also bought the SamcoSport Frame T-Piece that connects the top of the radiators together and comes down through the center of the frame there. So 1, 2, 3 hoses in one kit. The T-Piece, separate purchase. Bought the aggressive impeller, and that's it. So I'm gonna fill this thing up with engine ice and get rolling.